from there, I basically was about to get sacked, so I left quickly and went to Kenneth Clawson's, where I spent 3.5 years. I wanted to get out after 6 months because I didn't think it was really for me, but at the same time I didn't want to become one of these lads that had gone through all the top trainers and no longer be employable because nobody'd take them on. So I stuck there. There was a riding school there. Lessons used to finish at 10 o'clock at night, and then because I wanted to ride on my own and there were lots of people about, I used to start at 5 in the morning. And, you know, we worked very, very hard there, and it certainly knocked any theories of time scale or anything like that out. You just started as soon as you could get out of bed in the morning and finished once the last lesson had gone home. That went on for, as I said, 3.5 years, and in the end I decided that I was thinking other ways to Kenneth. I was quite useful to my employees. They're very good friends of mine now, by the way, before I get too much down the line. But we decided we were going in different areas. So again, Oliver sets out by himself to try and find a yard quietly, because I knew I'd be kicked out if they found out. So I went to the local gallops one day, and the lady that opened the gate told me about a hunting yard that had just come up for rent, 8 boxes, a 2-bedroom cottage and 20 acres. And I've always been a little bit strange in that when it comes to big things in my life, I generally just disappear off by myself and do them. At this point I didn't have any money at all. But my wages at Kenneth's were enough to get me through Monday and nearly a bit of Tuesday night. And literally had no money. Obviously Mum and Dad weren't wealthy, and I never really wanted to go back to them asking for handouts anyway, so the rent on the property when I went to visit the lady was £1,400 a month. By the time I'd come out, I had dwindled it down to just over £400 a month, just to get me going. So I basically rung Mum and Dad up and said, I've rented a yard. What? I said, yeah, it's 8 boxes and this was my 21st birthday. I left Kenneth's. I've rented 8 boxes and a house and a bit of land, and what do you think? She said, you're mad. How much is it? I said, £400 a month, thinking, woohoo. She went, £400 a month? How are you going to start and afford that? So I said, well, you know, we'll do what we do. I also knew that I was completely and utterly crap at platting up and mucking out. So I took on a head girl, £150 a week. When she turned up at my new establishment, she said, where are your horses? I said, I haven't got any yet. She said, well, what do you want me to do? I said, are you any good at painting? So she said, yeah. So we started on the house. We painted the bathroom and then a few other bits and bobs, and I went upstairs to make some phone calls, and eventually I got a lead that some racehorse trainer, Richard Farkey up in Yorkshire, wanted 4 horses outing, racehorse chuckouts. Actually 2 turned out to go back into racing, and we did those, and it eventually built up from there, and it built up reasonably quickly. I had a phone call quite quickly after I set up off a lady wanting me to ride an advanced horse, and I thought, bloody heck, I've made it! An advanced horse in my first month. And she obviously told me she wanted me to ride it for free because it was a fantastic opportunity for me to ride this advanced horse. And I didn't have a computer at the time. I'm computer illiterate anyway. And so I rang up a friend and I said, I think I've got an advanced ride, but keep it to yourself. And JP Sheffield said, what's its name? I said, Jungle Diva Blue. So you can hear that. Oh, sorry. Shall we go through the accounts again? JP Sheffield said, Jungle Diva Blue, and its name obviously came up on the computer, and ooh. I said, what? Is it good? He went, this could hurt. I said, what do you mean? He said, it's fallen the last 4 times it's ran. So I rung the woman back and I convinced her that she ought to pay me £100 a week for me to ride this, and eventually she agreed. And it was just constant. I don't think that I was particularly understood by the other English event riders, or the top guys, because I was perhaps a little bit Yorkshire, perhaps a little bit direct, but I was so hungry, and it gave me, having been so sort of low and no money and desperate, it gave me a huge hunger to succeed, just to pay the bills. And winning didn't come into it, it was just literally wanting to event. When I left Kenneth, I had a choice. It was either carry on or finish. So I always just decided to carry on. But with that hunger came a bit of a misunderstanding about me, because I'd go up to some of the professional riders in the warm-up arena and say, "Oh, you know, how are things? Have you got lots of horses about?" Yeah. If you've got anything you don't want to ride, can you give us a ring? And one in particular that sticks in my mind, and I'm still very grateful, is Leslie Law. Because he had loads of crap in his yard. So Leslie was a big help to me. He was my supplier. And I'm sure things have changed now. And myself and the head girl just went through as much management to get the best possible results out. And obviously, taking a horse off Leslie or taking a horse off somebody who had a huge amount of horse and it wasn't going well, we quite happily would spend however many hours it would take the day before an event to make sure that when we went into the dressage, it did a calm test, it did an accurate test. We'd do as much as we could to improve the show jumping. And obviously, with me being competitive and starting to win on horses that these professionals hadn't won on, wasn't anything to do with what we were doing, bar trying to get into their minds and trying to produce them and trying to drag every single little bit of ability out of them. And obviously, it starts tongues wagging when a 21-year-old that nobody really knows apart from a bit of a ruffian from the back end of Huddersfield starts winning on the professionals' horses. So obviously with that came a bit of a reputation of, he must be cheating, he must be doing this, he must be doing that. And Yogi Breisner came up to me one day and said, "Oh, we hear that you're doing this and doing that and doing the other." I said, "Well, there's no problem." I said, "You can come and watch me, and this is what I do and this is how it is." And Yogi still comes now, and he said, I don't know whether you know him, but Martin Pipe was a fantastic racehorse trainer, and he said the minute Martin Pipe became unbeatable with the amount of horses that he had, he was accused of blood doping, doing this, doing that, doing that. The other, he said, when you're doing well or you're succeeding, always sort of remember that people are there wanting to find out how you're doing it. And the thing at the minute is that they haven't realised you're quite good at what you do. And it was a really good, comforting thing, because I haven't got many friends in British eventing, so hopefully I'm still doing all right. But one friend that does stick out is Andrew Nicholson. He's been unbelievable throughout my whole career. He's been the guy that when I was just in at Kenneth, just 17, turned 18 years old, came straight up to me. "What's your name?" "I'm Oliver." "I'm Andrew." "Shit, I know." "Didn't think you talked to people, I thought you punched people." But it turns out again that Andrew's reputation might have been a little bit true at some stages in his life, but at the same time he's an absolutely fantastic guy and being absolutely 100% straight with me. Which has been great and confidence giving, and I still speak to him probably once every 3 days now.